Okay, I'm going to talk about triangles. In 1 through 4, classify each triangle by its side and then by its angle. So number 1 is an isosceles triangle. And it's also an acute triangle. Also an acute triangle. Change to black here. Okay, my next one is an equilateral triangle. All sides are equal. Equilateral, and it's also an acute triangle. Triangle number 3. Triangle number 3. Okay, none of the sides are the same, so it's a scalene triangle. Okay, but it's got a right angle right here, so that makes it a right triangle. Okay, and right here I have, on number 4, I have one that's none of the sides are equal, so that's a scalene. Okay, and I have an obtuse angle right here, so that makes an obtuse triangle. Okay, question number 5. Sally classified a triangle as an obtuse acute triangle. Is this possible classification? Explain. Okay, no, it's not. Okay, and that's because an acute triangle has all sides acute. Okay. Is it possible to draw a right isosceles triangle? If so, draw an example. So a right isosceles, that's a one that has two sides that are equal. And here's my right. That's two sides that are equal. And then I just connect it right here. And that's a right isosceles triangle. So yes, you can. Okay. Can a triangle have more than one right angle? If so, draw an example. And no, you can't, because the total angles on a triangle equal 180, and it has to have 3 angles. And if 2 of them are 180, they'll never connect. Question, or the next set of questions. In 8 through 16, classify each triangle by its sides and then by its angles, just like we did up there in the first part of the guided practice. And question number 8 is, it looks like all sides are equal on that, so that's going to be equilateral. Equilateral, and it's also an acute triangle. Okay, question number 10. Okay, on that one, it doesn't look like any of the sides are the same, so that's a scalene triangle. Okay, and I have an obtuse angle right here, so that makes an obtuse triangle. Okay, and on the rest, you're going to do on your own. Let's look at the back side. Question 17. Okay. If the backyard shown at the right is an equilateral triangle, what do you know about the length of the other two sides? Question 18. If Chris uses a third line to make a triangle, what kind of triangle will it be? Question 19. Is an equilateral triangle always an isosceles triangle? And explain your reasoning. And yes, it always is. And that's going to be because it has two sides that are equal. Okay, and it's always going to have two sides that are equal, so it falls into the category of being an isosceles triangle. Question number 20. A certain muscle group is pictured at the right. It is named for the shape it forms. What is the muscle group called? A, an acute muscle group. B, a scalene muscle group. C, an isosceles muscle group. or D, an equilateral muscle group? Question 21. When you multiply any number by 1, what is the product, and tell which property of the multiplication justifies this? Okay, anytime you multiply a number, okay, it's going to be by 1, it's going to be itself, and that's the identity property of multiplication. So it's identity property of multiplication, and you get it whenever you multiply any number by 1, you get itself. So for instance, 2,920 times 1 equals 9,000 or 2,920. Okay, and number 22. A mystery triangle has one obtuse angle. What are all the possible ways to classify the triangle by its angle measure and by its side length, and explain? So we got an obtuse triangle. Okay, and so I'm going to read the question again. A mystery triangle has one obtuse angle. What are all the possible ways to classify the triangle by its angle measure and its side length? Okay, an obtuse triangle, the only way that you're going to classify it angle-wise is going to be obtuse triangle. Okay, but an obtuse triangle can also be an isosceles triangle because it could have two sides the same length. In this one, I tried to make it look like these two sides are the same length. So that would be an isosceles triangle. Okay, but it could also be a scalene triangle. Can also be a scalene triangle. And that's all the possible ways. It can be an obtuse triangle, it can be an isosceles triangle, and it can be a scalene triangle.